Shalom to the left. Now this video, I just want to go in on how you got this post that just came up on RT News. It was some hours ago, but I happened to see it while I was scrolling down. It says mishandling crisis, blame China, and that's what the U.S. do. They like to blame all these other different nations for the shit that they be doing. And right here in the title says old dog, old tricks. U.S. uses Cold War tactics to pin blame for COVID. Just how they did with other scenarios with Vietnam, Japan, being over there in Syria. Same old rhetoric, man. But see, these nations, the most I put in the spirit on them to wake up and see what the U.S. is actually doing and what they're up to. And I'm finna go to this other video I was just looking at. Hold on, bear with me one minute. That's one of them. I'm gonna play another one real quick. Hey, 800 to 1,000 troops cross over into India. Hey, oh, this is biblical prophecy for this album. And meanwhile, and it's funny that this popped up on here. A lot of people sleep. They're supposed to be on their spiritual watch because there's going to be some stuff that start shaking up this economy even more. This little COVID shit wasn't shit. But before I get into that, let me read the scripture real quick. It's in the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 14. It says, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe coming quickly. And that's what we see unfolding right now. And the scriptures also say you should have wars and rumors of wars. Hey, here it go right here. Plain as day, man.
You're doing so on regular TV or on portable TV. We are so glad that you are there. Today, the United States will likely hit the inglorious milestone of being the first and only country in the world to suffer 100,000 coronavirus deaths. What are the real numbers? We're going to break that down for you. We're going to tell you. We're also going to show you just how ugly things have gotten overnight in Hong Kong. I don't know if you've seen some of those videos yet. But we're going to begin with a showdown between China and India. Yes, China and India. 800 to 1,000 Chinese soldiers have crossed over into India. The territory is disputed, but it's being called the worst border tension between these two countries in decades now. Let me do this. Let me go over to the map over here on the wall so we can show you the area that we're talking about. This is the region, I think we've mentioned this to you before, it's a region called Ladakh, right? It's described as one of the most beautiful places on earth. It's magnificent. Google it. You'll freak out. It's so pretty. But like many beautiful things, everybody seems to want a part of it. It's been a disputed region now since 1947 between Pakistan and India and China, all holding claim. But it's administered, and this is important in this dispute, it's administered by India. And that has generally been respected by, all three sides until now. Take a look at what's going on there right now. Let me show you these pictures. You see this is a satellite image from the Australian Policy Institute. It purports to show how 800 to 1,000 Chinese troops have crossed the border, right, and seem to be camping out now or holding their ground on the Indian side of the Galwan River Valley. Now, what you'll notice is you're not seeing troops. They're actually encampments, right, that they have now built.
The words they're using, talk about the valley and different stuff like that, which these nations ultimately they're going to get gathered in the valley of Jehoshaphat. Let me read that real quick. I'll let that finish playing. It says, in the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 1, it says, for behold, in those days, and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, which that's what you see happening now. It's like you see Yahweh waking up around the world, man, breaking down these scriptures, breaking out the correct doctrine, and breaking it down the right and proper way, so people can understand it, that's meant to understand it, and return it to our heritage, practicing keeping the commandments, carrying ourselves a certain way, wearing beards, showing who we are. Because it's evident of who we are when you read the scriptures. Like I said in the book of Romans, the Spirit bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High, Yahweh. So it's evident. That's why you dig up, when you look at all them ancient pictures and stuff, artifacts, and you have all the different nations on the artifacts. And the main ones that stand out the most is our people, because we wore certain apparel and we carried ourselves in a certain manner. Just like when Israel, ultimately Judah, Benjamin, and Levi was on the west coast of Africa, them Hamites knew where to go get us at because we kept different customs. We went over there in no damn mud huts and smelling like shit and all that. We carried ourselves in a different manner. They was the ones doing that stuff, them Hamites. Complete difference. But anyway, that's another topic. Verse 2, it says, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, when they have scattered among the nations and part of my land. And they basically doing the same shit. Let me run this back again. Just listen to what he's saying. When they fighting over
India. And that has generally been respected by, all three sides until now. Take a look at what's going on there right now. Let me show you these pictures. You see this is a satellite image from the Australian Policy Institute. It purports to show how 800 to 1,000 Chinese troops have crossed the border, right, and seem to be camping out now or holding their ground on the Indian side of the Galwan River Valley. Now, what you'll notice is you're not seeing troops. They're actually encampments, right, that they have now built in this region, right? Exactly why the Chinese troops have crossed over, not exactly clear. There's a lot of theories on it. What is clear is this that you're seeing right here in these satellite images, man, this is not sitting well with India. Not its military, not its media. Look at how this situation is being described by the network India Today. Take a listen.
Look closely at these pictures. They're the first images from the high-altitude Galwan River Valley in Ladakh. The first visual evidence of China's force buildup in a serious new standoff with India. Chinese durable tents, heavy-duty trucks, and earth-moving machinery. Clear evidence that this isn't your everyday standoff. China plans to stretch this one out.
China plans to stretch this one out, says the host. Now, that's India's version. China's version is a little different, saying perhaps India's been pushing the envelope in the region, building it up. Indian military sources say they will engage in aggressive patrolling of this area. Aggressive patrolling. Well, there's also, by the way, there's also some reports that there are talks that have started between both countries, the military officials in this area, to try and somehow settle this dispute. But look, there's no question that these skirmishes that have now been taking place for more than a month, we told you about it from time to time, not like this. This is escalation. The situation is escalating, and the situation is happening just as relations between China and the U.S. continue to sour as well. So,
yeah, and that's all prophecy, man. That's what you see happening right now. Let me read on some more. In verse 3 it says, and back in the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 3, it says, they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. Which, when you look at the movie Goodbye, I want to say it's called Goodbye Uncle Tom, it actually goes into this exact scripture right here. It was given to the boys for a harlot, basically prostituting them out, having them dress up, put gold paint on them and silver paint on them and shit, and the girls were getting sold for wine. So it's clear as day who that's talking about. Now verse 4 says, yeah, and what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Will you render me a recompense? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head? Because yet ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried it into your temples, my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Grecians, that you might remove them far from the border. Behold, I will raise them out of their place, whether you have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off, for the Lord Yahweh hath spoken it. And verse 9 says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty man, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. And that's what you see going on right now. This stuff right here, that COVID shit, hey, they call it a epidemic or pandemic. That shit really a plandemic. That's what that shit really is. And they has planned that shit years ago, and now they just bringing it to fruition. And it got a lot of people fooled with that dumb shit. Wait, let me read on some more. In verse 10 it says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears, and the weak say I am strong. And that's what you see these nations doing. Another example, let me go back to it real quick. This just happened recently. Iranian oil tanker makes it to Venezuela. And that's basically saying fuck you to the U.S. government, because they've been telling them not to do no deals and no trades, and talking about sanctions. It said Iranian tanker delivers first oil shipment despite U.S. blockade. What blockade? They ain't blocked nothing. That's basically them saying fuck it. And that's this scripture right here speaking. It says, beat your plowshares into swords and pruning hooks, into spears. Let the weak say I am strong. Again, all these other nations, they were more agricultural countries, places that did stuff with fabrics and crops and different stuff like that. Now these countries got nukes on deck. Now verse 11 it says, assemble yourselves and come all you heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause our mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. And that's what you're going to see happening in these coming times, man. Real soon. This ain't no next 5-year, 10-year things either. This is some stuff that's happening like very, very soon. And you can see the time, man. So to say, measure the time diligently. And that's what you should be doing. You know, we live our day-to-day life or whatever, but that ain't the stuff we should be getting caught up in. We should have a mind frame of when Yahweh gonna send Yahweh Shah to come get us up out of here. That's the mind frame we should have. Let me see what else I'm gonna read out of this. I don't want to make this too much longer. I just want to bring this out. All right, let me finish this actual chapter. That's what I'll do. That says, verse 13, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. That's why you see this going on right now, because the harvest is ripe. It says, come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. It's multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of the Lord Yahweh is near, in the valley of decision. The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. The Lord Yahweh also shall roar out of Zion, of his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and the earth shall shake. But the Lord Yahweh will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel. And that's our hope, that Yahweh get us up out of here. Because when this go down, a lot of people are going to get put to death. But simultaneously, a remnant of people are going to be delivered. Now, let me see what else I want to read out. Yeah, let me continue to finish this off. It's verse 17. It says, so shall you know that I am the Lord, your power dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall no strangers pass through here anymore. Because over there in that land right now, it's fucking strangers. But yeah, let me go back to this other video right here, just for edification's sake. What they was over there doing recently. They got this going on over there because there's strangers over there. These damn fucking Amalekites ain't supposed to be over there. Yeah, this ain't gonna be going on over there. You gonna see Amalek out protesting and waving flags and holding netting out of Jew signs up. Even though they put them on trial, but you know how that's gonna go. You can't get put on trial by the same motherfuckers that you hang with and shit. That don't even make no sense. Anyway, it says, and there shall no strangers pass through here anymore. Verse 18 it says, and it shall come to pass, and in that day the mountains shall drop down new wine, and the hills shall flow with milk, and all the rivers of Judah shall flow with the waters. And a fountain shall come forth from the house of the Lord Yahweh, and shall water the valley of Shittim. Egypt shall be a desolation. Edom shall be a desolate wilderness for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. This place over here, like it was just Memorial Day that just passed. The new Memorial Day for Israel gonna be when this place get taken the fuck out of power. That's gonna be the new real Memorial Day. Now, verse 20 says, but Judah shall dwell forever, and Jerusalem for generation and generation. For I will cleanse their blood that I have not cleansed, for the Lord Yahweh dwelleth in Zion. And that's about to come to pass, man. So y'all can, man, stay alert. You aqua to be watching the video too. I know you women, y'all be watching and tuning in and stuff. So y'all stay alert, stay diligent, pay attention to what's really going on. Don't get blinded by Esau with their little trickery and all their little shit they coming out with. Before I end this video, I'm gonna pull one more scripture and I just end this one. You see them coming out with their little nonsense and stuff they put in the media. They keep this scripture in mind. It's in the book of Mark, chapter 13, verse 22. It says, false Hamashiachs and false prophets shall rise and shoot signs and wonders just to seduce, if it were possible, even the elect. And they ain't gonna be able to seduce and trick the elect. And in the book of Matthew, chapter 24, basically say the same thing too. Say false. Let me scroll down real quick. It said, for there shall arise false Hamashiachs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, so that if it were possible, they should deceive the very elect. And if you're the elect, you ain't gonna be deceived by none of this stuff that's going on. None of this little trickery and sorcery they put in the media and the tell-eye vision. That's the shit they put on television to tell you vision, and they put lies in the midst of it. So, yeah, if you've been researching and paying attention, you already know what's going on. Just stay alert. Lord's when this is edifying, call out Yahweh Shem Shah, and Shalom to the elect.